We're sitting on the banks of the Zambezi River at Mana Pools National Park in Zimbabwe, northern Zimbabwe. I'm Lloyd Camp. This is Andy Smith. And this is another in a series of the Malcolm Ainscoe collection On the Ground series, where we try to give you up-to-date and real information as it happens in real time. Andy and I are both private guides, and TMAC provides safaris of many kinds, many destinations, but one of the things that we offer is privately guided safaris, which is what Andy and I specialize in. And I thought we'd talk about that today.
Yep.
So perhaps you could just outline what the whole concept of privately guided safaris is.
Okay, the basic sort of structure of it is you have somebody that is an Africa specialist who's been traveling around, knows a lot of the destinations that we're utilizing intimately, all the sort of camps and the intricacies of the A's and B's and C's of traveling to and from to the different places. And one of the biggest things is that what I found with a lot of guests is that when you meet them at the airport, you're the first face they see, and then when you are saying goodbye to them, you're the last person. And you look after people and host them, as well as taking them through this journey of these beautiful different wilderness.
So they've got the comfort of when they get to the airport of seeing their name correctly spelled on a board, and from that moment on to the moment you say goodbye to them, over that period of week, 10 days, 2 weeks, whatever it is, they don't have to worry about anything. It's all taken care of.
Exactly.
We provide a seamless guided experience.
Exactly. Yeah.
You've been in this business for a long time.
A little while.
and so have I. And I think what privately guided safaris brings to the table is a huge depth of experience and knowledge.
Yeah.
And as we travel around from destination to destination, you know, we've been to these places so often, into these areas so often, we're able to add something to the experience. Maybe you could describe what that is.
Yeah, so one of the biggest things of having a private guide with you is, I'll run through a simple example. You're going to 2 or 3 different camps. You arrive in a camp, and one of the biggest advantages that we have is that we have good relationship with the properties that we use. Often we're leading the safaris when we're there, and you avoid the sort of repetitive experiences where you arrive in a camp and it's the same, safety briefing things going on, and it's the same talking about termites and multiple things. Where what we'll do is we'll take the best of every destination to make sure that guests get the absolute best experience that we can. So we're maximizing people's experiences in the bush.
One of the reasons that I like to guide with Andy is because, quite apart from the fact that he's an easygoing personality that knows how to deal with every kind of guest and every nationality, crucially, he is able to, wherever we go, whichever camp we end up in, you're able to drive the vehicle, lead the guided walk, you're licensed throughout the country.
Yes. Yeah. So I've been very lucky. I've worked really, really hard in my career, and I've developed a lot of really good relationships, and those have come to fruition now where I'm allowed to basically lead and operate in multiple properties. Not many guides have, that luxury. So that is a huge advantage. Certainly with traveling with myself. Yeah.
So I think part of the thing about privately guided safaris is companionship.
Yeah.
The ability to, first of all, to set up a perfect itinerary, understanding what it is that our guests want, create that thing, understanding their needs, and then accompany them on the trip and make sure that the thing happens seamlessly and perfectly.
Yeah. So we have a great motto that we use. It's basically meet as strangers and leave as friends.
Yeah.
And that's what happens on our safaris. You literally become an expert friend that is just taking people on safari.
And I think one of the things that we've both experienced is that having guided these kinds of safaris, we do become friends with our guests. And, I guess our meat and bread in this business is repeat clients. We get to know, you and I right now on the banks of the Zambezi are leading a Swiss family, not Robinson, but a Swiss family for 10th or 12th time.
Yeah. Yeah, so multiple years.
And we visit them in their homes overseas, and they introduce us to their friends, which is fantastic. And so it becomes far more than just a simple guided experience in the African bush.
Exactly, and often what happens with that is because they now trust our basically expertise and our experiences, we often will go to new destinations, and that allows people to explore further and utilize our depth of knowledge and our networking, which you wouldn't be able to get with the shelf.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Andy and I don't guide every single safari itinerary that we put together. Sometimes people choose not to be personally guided, but if we don't actually personally guide it, we do know the people in the lodges. The guides, even the chefs. We've worked with all these people for years, and so we're able to make sure that when our guests do go to lodges, that they get the very best service that they can.
Yeah, we will typically not sell a product blind. We'll make sure that it's with products that we know and it will fit what the guest expectations are.
So almost without exception, we visit these places before we actually bring our guests to them.
Yeah, a lot of times we do that. Yeah,
got to match them up to the appropriate experience. Okay, well, as always, a pleasure, Andy. It's you just can't beat this environment. It's so fantastic to be traveling together and to be guided by you and with you again. Thanks very much for your time.
Yeah, likewise. Thank you.